The Christmas Letters, Celebrating Advent with Those Who Told the Story First, by Magrey R. DeVega. Chapter 4, Fully Divine, Peace through Christ, pages 113 through 117. And all things are held together in Him. If I were to pick one line from this whole hymn in Colossians chapter 1 to ask you to commit to memory, it would be this one in verse 17. It is no coincidence that this line is in the very center of the entire hymn, because it suggests that Jesus Christ can be the center that can hold everything in your life together. All things are held together in Him. Jesus is the only center that can hold. I serve a multi-site congregation in Tampa, Florida. Not far from our church campuses is the Port of Tampa, from which massive cargo and cruise ships sail in and out each day. These massive ships are driven by huge turbines that spin blades at incredibly high speeds and push out water to make the ship go. You can envision in your mind what these turbines look like: large fan blades that are connected to a central shaft, which is connected to the engines. The shaft spins, the blades rotate, and the ship goes. Now here's what's interesting. Theoretically speaking, there is a line that runs down the center line of that shaft, from tip to tip, that stays perfectly fixed, immobile, regardless of how fast those blades are rotating. Think about it. Even though those blades are rotating at amazingly high speeds, that center line stays fixed. And if there were any vibration, any motion whatsoever in the center line of that shaft, it will break. The blades will fly apart, and the ship won't move. What matters most is what's in the center. Your life has a lot of rotating fan blades. Each of us has chaos swirling in our lives. There's not a single exception among us. One personal crisis after another, uncertain futures, and unsteady times. And we will try anything to hold it all together, looking for a center that is steady. We look for ways to distract us and divert us from all the chaos, but those makeshift centers will not hold. Some of us will try to find significance and meaning through our careers, our accomplishments, our possessions, or even our children. Some of us will pursue strategies that wind up causing us even more chaos and harm. Paul is very clear in this hymn. Jesus is the only center of your life that will hold. He's been with you since your earliest days and through the adolescence of your faith. He's more powerful than any ruler or kingdom in the world and wants to be your Lord. He's the center that remains fixed through any hardship and will hold amid any chaos. And all that's required is for you to put Jesus in the center of your life. A full commitment to Jesus is what Paul is thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. Paul just wants to tell you how he's feeling. Paul just wants to make you understand that Jesus is never going to give you up, never going to let you down. Sorry, couldn't help it. We come now to the final line in the Colossians hymn, and we see how it all fits together. Because all things are in Christ, and because Christ is in all things, and because we are part of the creation that Christ has both created and drawn into Himself, we are part of God's greatest work in history, reconciliation. Another word for that is peace, which is our final key word for Advent. Because of the incarnation, crucifixion, and resurrection of Jesus, there is one thing that is even more infinite than the stars of the universe and the atoms in your body. It is the capacity and power of love that pulls us together so that we can forge relationships of peace with one another and all of creation. Because of Christ's reconciling work, we can experience the wonder, awe, and majesty of God's creation That means that as big as this universe is, we don't have to feel alone. God has given us the gift of one another to enjoy it and to take care of it. Paul's song in Colossians was meant to be more than merely memorable for those early Christians. It was meant to be formative, so that whenever they would face the pressures and temptations to believe and act in a way contrary to the way of Jesus, they would recall this song and the meaning behind it. Of course, hearing the song and remembering it are two very different things, even for songs that are part of our reminiscence bump.